Hi everyone, in this tutorial, I'm going to share a few tips for improving the results in Midjourney. And by the way, Midjourney is an AI image generating tool using simple text input. And if you want to know more about Midjourney, please check out this page for more detail. These links will be shared in the comment below. So Wikipedia doesn't have much saying, and I found this YouTube video, maybe it's introducing Midjourney much better. So please check out if you are curious about what Midjourney is. And in this video, is for complete beginners to intermediate users who are interested in understanding how it meters, so you can develop a good habit to save your fast machine hours, which means to save money, and which is not very intuitive for beginners, so I'm going to cover here. And moreover, to improve the results, to get something you want more effectively by understanding how the prompt works. Okay, so how come with same exact tool you can get results like this, not looking good, doesn't make sense, or creepy, or no detail? And you can do something like this, highly detailed, sensible, photorealistic, and highly detailed and enjoyable. So in this tutorial, I will show you how I managed to guide Midjourney to produce a wooden house that I wanted to design. And from these images and to these results, which may not make sense to others, but it was something I wanted to kind of see, and took some time to guide the prompt to do this. And I would like to share my experience with you so you can also improve your results and slowly guide the prompt to do what you want. Yeah, and then there will be mainly 3 chapters in this tutorial. First chapter is getting started. We'll cover some basics, which I feel like can be very useful for beginners. But if you are already a familiar Midjourney user, you can skip to the next part. And in the second chapter, I will talk about prompt. And in the third chapter, I will talk about the subscription, fast and relaxed mode, and to improve your habit to save the fast machine hours and money. So getting started. Midjourney, you can apply to be on the waiting list, or you can ask a friend to invite you. Every user gets a limited number of invitations. So once you're in, you need to register as a user at Discord. So by the way, Discord is an instant messaging social platform. If you're curious, you can check out, but it's not really important. Just install this app or log in the website. And if you don't have one, just get a registration. So this is the Discord. And if you started your if you kind of come in with your invitation link, you will be directed to this welcome channel in the Midjourney server. And here, once you log in, it will say something like this: go to the newbie number something channel and type imagine, and then add something you want. So in the beginning, you can try that. Most of the people go to one of these newbie channel and just start typing, say /imagine, and then say happy cat, something like that. And you can wait for a minute to get something, get what it says. And then what you can do is you can come to your, so let's see, where is my result? It's very difficult to kind of trace back where is my chat while everybody's typing. So you can also go to here in the mention. You will find your mention here once it's generated. So I feel like mine is slow because I didn't turn on the fast mode. So it's not coming yet, but you will see your results in these mentions. But what if, but this mention, it actually saves only for 7 days. So it's very difficult to trace back your old images. So in Midjourney, there is this channel. So you can go to midjourney.com and it allows you to log in. And once you log in, you will see all of your generated images from your gallery space. So this is your gallery space. So you can check out everything here, but you cannot interact with your image. So because once you generate your image, it allows you to upscale one of these. You can upscale all of them or make variations of one of these. So if I want to make a variation of, for example, this one, number 3. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to click on variation number 3. I'm using other people's image though, but that's fine. Okay, so this is my happy cat. So I can say, okay, if I really like the first one, I can upscale it, or I can say make variation. And after I wait for a little bit, okay, so it started to upscale my happy cat. The teeth are very creepy. And so on and so forth. So that's something what you will see also in your feed in a while. And then because you cannot really interact with the variations, so what you can do here is you can come in here and then I believe you can find a way to jump to the Discord prompt. So, okay, so say open in Discord. So here you can go back, it directs you back to this image in the Discord. So you can make your variation or even upscale or whatever you want. So that's the link between the gallery and the Discord. Okay, and here, if I just talk a little bit more about this, you can go to, if you enlarge this, you'll see all this tab and say manage subscription. You will see different pricings and the regulations. So if you already finished your quarter and you wanna generate maybe just 200 more images, maybe you can try this version. Or for me, I subscribed for this version, as it said, unlimited. But actually there is a little bit of limitations. So I'm going to explain this in a bit in the 3rd chapter. But here is where you can subscribe. And note that the pricing and policies might change anytime. So this tutorial is dated on 11th July 2022. This policy might change in any time. And okay, going back to Discord. Instead of chatting on the channel, which feels less private as well. You can send a direct message to Midjourney bot instead of having to have everybody seeing what you're typing. So in order to do that, you go to this home, and here you will see a lot of people, which are your friends, and you start a chat by chatting to Midjourney bot. So here you can do everything like type imagine, but you won't see the copycat here because you generated that in the newbie channel. But you will see that in the feed. Let's say a firehouse, whatever it means. So let's see what it gives me. And then going to, in this way, actually, you don't have to track back. It's much easier to trace your previous input and just work here more privately. And at this point, you might find it curious, what are the other functions to make prompt more sophisticated? And a very quick way to find this out is by typing help and say enter. And you will see some important parameters, and it's really worth to like give a little bit of read on this. So you also have this breakdown. You have no parameters, no meaning that you can avoid some kind of feature by saying no, and this is image weight. You can set how much weight of the image input that you're adding and stuff. But here we are still not sure where and how to put the image, isn't it? So here is another documentation that is more appropriate to check out, which is the Midjourney Gitbook. I will post this link there as well, but it's really easy to find. So just Google and say Midjourney documentation, and you will see the first one is the Midjourney Git book. Yeah, so that's how you find this documentation page, and there are more information there. And if you just check out this one, imagine parameters illustrated, this one is the most important one. And you will see that after you type imagine, you can add image prompt at the beginning of your text prompt, and then at the end, all the parameters. So just follow this structure. And for image prompt, you can add one or multiple, any kind of images as a URL link. So, so this page is very useful. And you will need to use the image URL, right? So for that URL, let's Google, let's Google any images. Let's Google any images. Whatever images. So you can just right click, and I normally try open a new tab, make sure that this is not a website link. So if this is a appropriate image link, then you can say right click and copy image address, and then use that to type it here, imagine, then add this link. So you can use just solo image as input, or just few images as input, or you can mix images and the prompt. Also, you can, so this one is learning from this image and creating another silhouette of people. Okay, that's great. And sometimes you want to upload your own image. I found this image, this website. So you can just upload your images here and get an appropriate usable URL link. All right. Now I'm going to move on to chapter 2. Let me just make sure that I have covered everything I wanted to cover in chapter 1. So I covered the welcome page using the newbie channel, check the resulting mentions in galleries and your subscription, and in the direct message and the functions and quick start guide and uploading images. Okay, so let's go to the second chapter, improving the prompt. So here I'm going to walk through some parameters I found that affects the results quite directly. And I'm going to use a wooden house as an example in this case. So with default settings, a wooden house gave me this result with not much description. Still, most of the cases it gave me a house that looks sensible. However, this was not a wooden house I wanted to design and looks like painting instead of a photograph. I also found that the aspect ratio influences the result quite a lot. It's likely to give me a proportion that follows the image ratio. So here, this is more obvious that the houses are now narrow and tall, following the aspect ratio of the image. So here I started to add some more descriptions. Still not very sensible, as there are too many chances to give me close-up views instead of a distanced perspective view. But also it was not photorealistic enough, so I added this description to avoid images that looks like painting. And I also added no parameter to avoid flat roofs. Otherwise, I had higher chance to get like triangular roof houses. And then I also added some style guidance, so it became a little bit more white somehow, and probably will guide my upscaling better in certain scale for certain results. So I make sure I have that, and as most of them are close-up views or zoom-in views, I added a prompt like this saying sitting on grassland, which is a little description of the context and landscape. And I have now higher chance to successfully get guided images to give me appropriate zoom out views. So I tried many other prompts such as zoom out, photographs from distance, or bird's eye view, and many. And most of them failed to give me a good perspective camera angle I wanted. And finally, the sitting on grassland prompt worked for me. So what I wanted to communicate here is that, so it is important to find an appropriate prompt that might not make sense for human language immediately, but to help guide the AI better for certain the desired results. So it's important to know what you want. And here's also a very useful link shared by my friend Igor Pantic. Thank you very much. And really, it's a really rigorously tested and compared different weights of the prompts and parameters. Let me show you this. Yeah, so this person tested all these different ratios and parameters, really rigorously compared a lot of the parameters and prompts. So it's really useful to check it out. So you can also see that how much the you can break the weight of your prompt. So it's saying, okay, it's a teapot number weight 7 and wood weights number 4, and so on. So there is like higher chance that you get a teapot than wood. And this has kind of confused that these are wood. So there are, it's interesting to see how this, how you can control the weight of the descriptions. Yeah, so I think it's worth to check it out. And there is also a forum, which I will also share this link. And people are kind of sharing tips and tricks for improving the prompts. And I'm pretty sure there will be more and more useful content and tips shared on internet. Right now, there are not much, but still, it's kind of a very new tool for everybody. So it's going to be, there will be more contents out there. All right. So that was the forum. Yeah, and then I think, so for more inspiration, you can also see other people's work in community feeds. Okay, let me talk about this a little bit. So if you go back to your Midjourney, so you will find this community feed where there are really good results are shared by the community. If you like some of them, you can visit them. So for example, I will visit this person and I can start to follow this person. Once I follow, I will see this person's work in my personal feed, which is a good way to save your preferred people. Another way of doing it is, if you like this image, you can also follow this person, but you can also save this as a bookmark it, and then you can find that image in your bookmark. So yeah, and this is really important because, for example, if you really like this result, you can go down and see all the prompts and what was the original image and what was the parent and what are the similar results that came out by this person's prompt. So it's really helpful to understand and learn from others. So so I myself, I also learned from that, from others. And I tried one marble sculpture by mimicking other artists' prompt. And I also learned that without a good image input, normally I have failed to get a good result. So this was a good learning process for me. And after many trials, I found that it's really useful if you write down in a notebook where you can edit easily. And then you save this somewhere and just change a few descriptions and save all your styles as you like. And then you just copy paste these prompts to get the same styled objects every time, and you just change the scope, change the items that you want to generate. So for example, here I have it broken down. So describe what is that item. Are you making a chair, or are you making a sculpture, or making a house? And a short description of that item. Is that item, for example, is that chair made out of timber and has lots of strands of lines, for example? And then most of these here are describing the image itself. So I find that describing too much of this item and confusingly, it's not very helpful. For example, if you say an apartment and a house and a timber house, you know, like if those are confusing descriptions, it's better to make it clear. And for these, it's fine to have more descriptions. So these are describing the style of the object or this image itself. So you can say sci-fi movie style, biological design, Rococo style, or list of some designers that you like. And there are more descriptions of the image itself. Is it highly detailed, or is it like painting style, or is it like a vintage poster style? Like all of those are towards the image style. And this is more helpful to say, okay, it's photorealistic, it's highly detailed, has fine lighting, has CG styled render. It's a 3D sculpture. It's similar to some Octane render or Unreal Engine render. So you kind of growing a chance for making it look like photorealistic renders. So some of these are some tips. Of course, you can change it, but I find it really useful just to have this written somewhere and you copy paste most of these lines. So these styles, maybe you don't want to change that often. Okay, so as one of the result I got is this weird tank-like machine that used that copy pasting method, just changed the description of the object. I also feel like guiding with images are so important and very direct. So use some good images as your initial guide. You will get higher chance to get a more directed result. So this is the input image, this was the output image with a little bit of description. Okay, so going to the chapter 3, subscription, tips for saving money. So if you just say / in Discord, it pops up with all the other commands. You can just explore most of them. And if you just say info, you will see all your information about how many invitations are left and how many fast hours are remaining. So I have 11 hours out of 18 hours remaining. And this is lifetime usage, is that how many hours you generated, you used already from the fast hours quarter. And relaxed usage is how many of relaxed hours you used. So basically, if you just read the policies under this page, you will see that, okay, so let's go back and check the page actually. Yes, so if you go to your manage subscription page, it's giving me an error. Okay, so if you just read a little bit here, so what do you mean by relax, right? So it has fast and relax, and right now we give 15 GPU hours per month for fast with standard plan and 200 GPU minutes. So for basic plan, so this means approximately per minute, you can generate one image. So one image meaning if you click one variation or click one upscale, they all count as one image and each takes 1 minute. And in this $10 basic membership, you will get 200 minutes quota, and you don't have unlimited relax mode. So in the standard membership, which is what I subscribed for now. So let's have a look. So what I have is I can still use up 11.19 hours time for fast mode, but I can use relax mode for forever, unlimited. So you can toggle, say, fast, enter, and now I'm in fast mode. If I generate any image, it will use up this hour. So say imagine fast prompt. Let's see what that means. So this will guarantee that I will get the result immediately, at least within 1 minute. And the previous ones that I was using, it was in relax mode. So if I want to go back to relax. Oh, so I'm now in relax mode and I can say imagine. So relax prompt. I don't know what that means, but let's see what it gives me. So it's fast means probably fast lane. That's interesting. Okay, so this will take a little bit, and sometimes it gives me pretty fast, but it's not guaranteed. So for relax mode, I will have to wait a little bit. And for all mode, you can only queue up for 10 jobs. So, but after that, after one is finished, you can add another one to the queue. So it was not really bothering too much. So that's how you use and toggle the relax and fast mode. In my case, I find it easier to test different prompt in fast mode. So I can guarantee that, okay, I type something, I see the result and try to guide the prompt a little bit as I want, and I get faster feedback. And then I turn off the fast mode, I toggle to the relax mode. And for like general upscaling, so for example, if I want to upscale the number 3, or I just want some kind of variation for number 2. So for something that is more obvious, if I'm not in rush, I decided to use relax mode to do those jobs. And then I can just work on something else while I'm waiting for this. So if you are more cautious, then you don't really have to spend more money. So here, if you say, okay, after you finish all your fast hours, you can pay for $4 per GPU hour. So you can still add up more hours, but you will have to pay, and that will be metered and show up in your metered usage. And probably you will pay by the end of the subscription month. Yep. And let's see what else I wanted to cover. Okay, so you can also delete. So yeah, you can also you can also check out more functions. Basically, if you want to invite people, you can say invite. Yeah, and then enter. It will give you a invitation code. Just copy paste that to your friend, and it's a invitation code expires in 23 hours. So you make sure that your friend accept the invitation as soon as possible. Also, if you don't really like this to remain in your feed, you can also give a reaction emoji and then say X, then it deletes your image. So that's how you can kind of curate your results. For example, unless I did some like really random test, I tend to like to keep different failed results as well. So I can actually have a track of what was not working. Another function is ideas. I found it it's not very useful at the end, but if you are out of ideas, or if you want some random inspiration, it gives you 10 different prompts. You can just click on one or retype it or reassemble this image text. And so it's just for random inspiration. Another useful links and ideas is that just Googling Midjourney tips. And I find there are not much out there yet because it's also kind of a new tool. But I'm pretty sure there will be more contents and more shared tips. And I've just found this portrait, quick tips for portrait. I found it interesting. This blog is sharing this person's tip for guiding different kind of artists and prompts for guiding the portrait design to be something more guided, desired. So I thought it's cool. It's very inspirational for people to kind of learn how to make things more directed and sophisticated. All right, and then obviously you can check out more in the Midjourney feed gallery. It's quite interesting. So if you go to this Midjourney, it has a dictionary tab. It's really weird because this dictionary is not really a correct English word, not necessarily, but it's something that probably have a tendency of getting these results. And this is also a live thing. So when you update it, it constantly changes. So it's good for inspiration, but it's not really, I don't find it is very accurate or something, but it's very helpful if you want some inspiration. And there's also a style tab. Similarly, it only shows you few. And if you refresh it, it gives you new results. And it's kind of helping you to find some guidance for the drawing style. So here, that's something you can find inspiration. The most inspirational one by far for me was the community feed. There are people being so creative and they're making really good results, and it's super cool to learn from these people. And it's great that they are shared and open source. So, all right. Let me go back to my presentation. Okay. All right. So yeah, community feed. Okay, you can follow somebody. You can appear as in your bookmark. Yeah. And at the end, another really good channel to check out other people's work is obviously the Instagram. People are hashtagging their awesome images. You can find out some cool results by searching for these hashtags like Midjourney, AI art, and all of those. And if you want, if you're happy with this tutorial, please follow my Instagram and follow up what's happening in our website and to check out who I am following. And there are like really cool AR artists and designers out there. And I wanna especially thank Equal Pantich and Hanjun Kim for sharing all their tips and knowledge about Midjourney. They were my teacher. And all the links I mentioned in this video will be posted below. And hope you enjoy Midjourney, and please share your own tips in the comments. Thank you very much.